Hey everyone, it's John from Seattle Coffee Gear here with a comparison of two espresso grinders. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give the video a like so you can see more of our content as you're doing research for your next piece of coffee equipment. Here with me today, I have the Specialita from Eureka and the new updated Faustino 3.1 from Rocket Espresso. These are both real popular grinders in the entry to prosumer range for espresso grinders. They're both very similarly spec'd out in that they're both quiet grinders. The Faustino has 50mm burrs and the Specialita has 55mm burrs. They both have a digital timer for their dosing. The Faustino does give you 3 settings versus the 2 settings on the Specialita, but overall they are very similar. Let's talk about the looks of these two grinders. I've gotten some feedback that the Eureka is a bit more specific into who it appeals to, whereas the Faustino and its very distinct cutouts on the side is definitely a great choice if you value good design. This also matches the Rocket espresso machines very well, especially the Apartamento, and you can purchase it with different color inserts on the sides. The Specialita does come in a few different color options and has this nice cutout of the Eureka logo on the side of the grinder, as you can see here. Let's talk about some of the programming features of both of these grinders. The Specialita has 2 dose settings that you can select, a single cup or a double shot. And then you can also adjust the time in 1/10 of a second increments. You can also press and hold and turn it to a continuous run setting, and it'll operate, so if you just hold the grind switch, it'll run nonstop. You have your grind adjustment here, which is completely stepless. So this is truly an espresso only grinder. It would be very difficult to use this as a multi-purpose grinder. Let's move to talk about the Faustino. The programming features of the Faustino are very similar to the Specialita and also the previous model of the Faustino. So you have 3 dose settings as well as a continuous run setting. And if you hold, you can actually start and stop the grind. And then if you hold the Rocket logo in the center, that takes you into your adjustment of the time. And it also adjusts in 1/10 of a second increments. And then to save that, you just press and hold the Rocket button once more, and you're back into your normal operation. The grind adjustment on the Faustino has changed. So it is now more of a single revolution style. This actually changed because Maycap is now producing this grinder for Rocket. And you have a decent range. It's truly not gonna be a multi-purpose grinder for all your brewing needs, but it will grind from an espresso range out to about an AeroPress range, which is helpful if you like a finer grind for your drip coffee or a pour over, but it's not going to be grinding for espresso and French press. Now that we've talked about the looks, the programming features, let's talk about the usability of both of these grinders. Let's start by grinding some coffee with the Specialita, just to hear it. So we do have an adjustable portafilter fork. I have it adjusted a little low right now, but let's go ahead and run it. So it's pretty quiet. I can easily talk over that, and it's certainly not gonna wake up anyone in your house in the morning. And then if we look at the grounds, they came out pretty clump free. It will be very easy to redistribute this before you tamp to get a nice espresso shot out of it, and makes it very easy to get a full dose. So if you like dosing 20 or 21 grams in a triple basket, I found that that kind of mounds up in the center, and because there's more distance from the chute to your coffee, this really accommodates that more modern style of dosing where you use more coffee per shot. And also talking about maybe single dosing, this grinder does tend to popcorn a bit once you get down to the last few beans in the hopper. So single dosing can be frustrating. The burr chamber itself is pretty small, so there's not much retention between shots. And Eureka has some additional accessories you can purchase with the bellows hopper that can help push out some of those grounds that may be hanging around there. So if you are more of a coffee enthusiast, the Specialita does have some additional features that may be of interest to you. Next, let's go ahead and talk about the Faustino. The portafilter fork has been updated from the previous generation and is now much sturdier. That was a common pain point that we had on the Faustino. And it does have a small little portafilter rest or grabber here that holds the portafilter in place. It does an okay job. I have noticed that it rattles a little bit. It's a little bit noisier when you're grinding. I'll show you that real quick here. Overall, this grinder is a little bit noisier than the Specialita is, so consider that. And then one thing I noticed in my testing is that this cone is very close to the basket. And so if you like dosing larger amounts in your basket, 20 grams in a triple basket, it is a little bit difficult, and you'll probably have to split your dose and settle the grounds in between to make sure that's all fitting in the basket. Overall, the adjustment knob is very easy to work with. And then the 50mm burrs do give you a really nice consistent drink. Let's have a look at the grounds. And not clumpy on this either. Again, very easy to distribute before you tamp, so you can really get a good shot of espresso. Let's talk about some final thoughts with these two grinders. We covered some of the features of them. I think they're well matched in features. Talking about the looks of them, they both have a similar kind of rectangular look on both grinders. I would say that the cone on the face of this and more of like a oval, slightly more round shape is more appealing. It's more appealing to more folks that I talk with, whereas the Eureka is a little bit more aggressive, a little bit boxier overall. I think the Specialita is more for the enthusiast who is really into trying all different types of coffee. It has slightly larger burrs, which gives you better grind dispersion, and that can help bring out more depth of flavor in more complex coffees. The Faustino, the performance is still good, but if you like doing a triple dose for your espresso, it's a little bit frustrating to work with for that. And so because of that, I think this is more suited to somebody who prefers a more European style coffee where you're doing smaller doses in smaller baskets. It tends to work better for that kind of coffee. The Faustino is a great pair if you like Rocket's aesthetic with their espresso machines. It just matches really well in the form of it, in the finishes with the colors. To wrap things up, I'll talk about maintenance and the differences between these grinders. The edge definitely goes to the Faustino because it's very easy to remove this upper burr carrier. As you can see, this ring right here of metal actually is the upper burr carrier. It's the piece that holds the upper burr. And so you can remove that and get access to that burr chamber very easily for cleaning. The Eurekas are still really easy to clean and maintain. It's kind of their hallmark. You can take them apart, clean them out without adjusting your grind setting, but there is an additional step because you have to remove this top plate before you can get to that upper burr carrier. So if you're thinking about maintenance, the Faustino is going to be a bit easier to maintain in the long term than the Eureka is. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel and like the video so you can see more of our content as you're on your journey finding your next piece of coffee equipment. Drop us a comment down below if you have thoughts on these two grinders and which one you'd prefer. And also make sure to head to our website and you can subscribe for our email newsletter to get a coupon for 10% off one item. Some exclusions do apply to that, but make sure to check out all the great products we have on our website. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of the day.